Alright, this is the review for the Polynomials unit for Algebra 1. Let's start with number 1. The algebraic expression describes the profit at a bake sale for selling cupcakes and brownies. Expression represents the total profit made from selling each type of baked good, as well as the one-time fee paid to the booth. What is the name of the part of it? The expression that represents the cost of a cupcake. So every linear expression has two parts, which is what we're dealing with. So we have a coefficient and we have a constant. So a coefficient is something that is being attached to a variable, and then a constant is just a number by itself. Since we're told that there's a one-time fee, that is the constant, so that means that the cost of the cupcake is going to change based on how many cupcakes you buy. That is the coefficient. We could also think of it as a factor. If we move on to number 2, explain the meaning of the exponent in the algebraic expression x plus y to the second power. First thing we have to remember is that x plus y to the second power means x plus y times x plus y. So what we did was we took this 2 and it turned it into 2 factors. So we're going to use the binomial as a factor 2 times, which is answer C. Number 3, explain why x and 4x minus 3 are terms of the expression x plus 4x minus 3 and not factors of the expression. So terms, the way we define terms is things that are being added or subtracted together. And factors are things that are being either multiplied or divided together. Since x, 4x, and minus 3 are all being added or subtracted, those are terms because of the addition and the subtraction. Number 4, evaluate these two expressions for a equals negative 5 and b equals 6. How is the order of the steps different for the two expressions? So the easiest way to see how it's different is to actually evaluate. So we're going to plug in negative 5 and positive 6 for a and b. So I've got negative 5 minus 6 squared versus negative 5 squared minus 6 squared. So negative 5, using order of operations, PEMDAS, negative 5, take away 6 is negative 11 squared, we get 121. And negative 5 squared is 25, and 6 squared is 36, and we get negative 11 here. So they're obviously different results, and it's because we're following order of operations, subtraction, then the exponent for the left-hand side, and exponent, then subtraction for the right-hand side. Number 5, simplify the expression. Since this is all addition and subtraction, we're just going to group our like terms. So we start with 5x cubed y. Here's another x cubed y, and that's going to be it. We go to x squared y and x squared y. Those can go together, and finally x and x can go together. So if we combine those, 5x cubed y minus 4x cubed y is going to give me 1x cubed y. So those are gone now. 6x squared, 6x squared minus 3x squared is a positive 3x squared y. And finally, 6x plus negative 4x is going to give me a positive 2x. Number 6, simplify the following expression. Very similar to the one above it, except for I've got this subtraction sign here. So the first thing I need to do is distribute that. So I get x squared plus 4x minus 5 minus 2x minus 5. Now I can look for like terms. I don't have any other x squareds. I've got a 4x and a 2x, and finally I've got a negative 5 and another negative 5. So when I combine everything, I get x squared plus 2x minus 10. Number 7, Daniel has a garden that measures 10 feet by 8 feet. He's having a problem with wild animals. Actually, we're going to skip 7. It's kind of an odd question. We'll talk about that one in class. Number 8, what is the area of the shaded region of the rectangle? So the shaded region is just this blue stuff. So what I need to do is find the area of the whole box. We'll call that area 1. And then we have to find the area of the little white box, which is area 2. And then we have to subtract them to find the total area. So the area of the big box is 3x minus 4 times 2x plus 5. And the area of the little box is x plus 2 times x plus 2. The way we're going to find the total area is to use one of our multiplication methods. I'm going to use the box. So we've got 3x minus 4, 2x, and 5. So when I multiply, I get 6x squared minus 8x plus 15x minus 20. So that's going to give me 6x squared plus 7x minus 20 for A1. And for A2, we've got x and 2, x and 2, so I get x squared, 2x, 2x, and 4, which gives me x squared plus 4x plus 4. And I'm going to subtract these two expressions. And similar to number 6 above, I need to make sure that I distribute that negative sign. So that I'm left with 6x squared plus 7x minus 20 minus x squared minus 4x minus 4. Combine like terms, I get 5x squared plus 3x minus 24. If we move on to number 9, Garfield Elementary has plans to double the area of the parking lot. The diagram below shows the shape of the new parking lot. Find an expression for the perimeter of the entire parking lot. So perimeter is adding up all the outside stuff. So we've got a 3x minus 4, which means that this other side has to be 3x minus 4. And then we have the top, and we have the bottom. Now the bottom is 2x plus 10 plus a z, so that means the top has to be a 2x plus 10 plus z. So to get my perimeter, remember we can say the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we got p equals 2 times 2x plus 10 plus z plus 2 times 3x minus 4. Distribute to get 4x plus 20 plus 2z plus 6x minus 8. Combine like terms. And I'm going to get 10x plus 2z plus 12. Number 10, expand the expression. To do that, we're going to use the box method just like we did on number 8. Just because it takes up the least amount of space. You can always use FOIL or distributive property, whichever method you choose. So I get 8x squared minus 20x, 4x, negative 10, and that's going to leave me with 8x squared minus 16x minus 10. Number 11, same thing, but this box is going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to be 3 by 3. I'm going to have x squared negative 5x 2 and 2x squared 3x negative 4. So to multiply, I get 2x to the 4th minus 10x cubed 4x squared 3x cubed negative 15x squared 6x negative 4x squared, 20x, negative 8. And when I combine everything, I get 2x to the fourth, negative 10x cubed, and positive 3x cubed. That's going to be negative 7x cubed. 4x squared minus 4x squared, those are gone. So I'm left with negative 15x squared. 6x to 20x is 26x, and then I have minus 8. So I get 2x to the fourth minus 7x cubed minus 15x squared plus 26x minus 8. Number 12. Suppose a pool has a length of 5c minus 8 feet and a width of 2c feet. Write a simplified expression for the area. So it's a rectangle. Imagine we have a rectangle here. 5c minus 8, 2c. We're just going to multiply those together. So 5c minus 8 times 2c is going to give me 10c squared minus 16c. 13, simplify the expression. What we're going to do first, we're going to separate these out. So start with the number times the number. That's 1/4 times 16. X times x times x. So that's going to be x to the fifth, x to the seventh, and x. Put the y's together, so I get y times y to the fifth, and z squared, z cubed, z to the 8th. So I just regrouped. And I'm going to multiply. When I'm multiplying numbers, I just multiply them normally. You could do this in your head, but if you need to use the calculator, you're just going to do 1/4 times 16. Gives us 4. X to the fifth, x to the seventh, and x to the first. We're going to add the exponent, so we get x to the 13th. Same thing with the y's. I'm going to get y to the 6th and z to the 13th as well. I'm going to do the same thing for the second part. So don't forget about this square and the cubed. The square means there's 2 of these. The cube means there's 3 of these. So we could write it out twice and 3 times and then do the same thing we did up above, or we can simply distribute that exponent to every term. So I get 4 squared, a squared squared, which is a to the 4th, and b squared times a to the 5th cubed. So that's a to the 5th, a to the 5th, a to the 5th. That's going to be a to the 15th. B to the 12th, because you've got 3 b to the 4ths. So it's b to the 12th. And then we just multiply through again. So 4 squared is 16. A to the 4th times a to the 15th, that's going to be a to the 19th. And b squared and b to the 12th is b to the 14th. Alright, number 14. Right triangle shown needs to be enlarged such that each side is multiplied by the value of the hypotenuse, which is 2x. We know that's the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. Find a simplified expression that represents the perimeter. So perimeter is adding up all the sides. So our perimeter right now is 2x plus 3y plus 3y. Combine my like terms, I get 2x plus 6y. But then I need to multiply it by the hypotenuse, 2x. So when I distribute that, I get 4x squared plus 12xy. And number 15, rectangle's length of x minus 4 and a width of 5x squared minus 3x minus 2. What is the area? So area of a rectangle, once again, we're going to multiply. So we've got 5x squared minus 3x minus 2, and I've got x and negative 4. We get 5x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x minus 20x squared, positive 12x and positive 8. Leaves me with 5x cubed, negative 3x squared, negative 20x squared is negative 23x squared. 12x and negative 2x is 10x, and then positive 8. So that is my area. An expression for the area. Part B says, what is the area if x equals negative 2? What I'm going to do is take negative 2, plug it into this equation. So I have 5 times negative 2 cubed minus 23 times negative 2 squared plus 10 times negative 2 plus 8. And instead of trying to do all this math, I'm going to I was going to use the calculator, but it said it doesn't want to work. So we'll do this by hand, but you could just plug this whole thing into the calculator with parentheses and everything, and it'll give you the answer. I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to get 5 times negative 8 minus 23 times 4 minus 20 plus 8. I get negative 40 minus 92 minus 20 plus 8. You get negative 40 minus 92 is going to be negative 132 minus 20 plus 8. Negative 132 minus another 20 is negative 152. Negative 152 plus 8 is negative 144. It says, what is the area if x equals positive 5? Same thing. 5 times positive 5 cubed minus 23 times 5 squared plus 10 times 5 plus 8. This really just becomes 5 to the 4th, which is 625, and minus 23 times 5 squared plus 50 plus 8. Nope. It should just be 23 times 25. I get 625 minus 575 plus 50 plus 8. 625 minus 575 is 50. Plus another 50 is 100. Plus 8 more is 108. It says, explain why part B or part C is a better choice for the area. Well, area is the amount of space that an object takes up. It can't take up negative space. So obviously the negative is out. So C is better because it's positive. And that's the end.